Gotta have clean windows. I can't stand it when I can't see out the windows. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We got a busy day lined up today. We got some barley that we need to swath for a local dairy farmer. He's a little short on corn silage this year, so we're thinking this is a good alternative feed source for him to get his cows fed till corn silage comes off. So we got to get the 714 hooked up to the old swather today. We're going to use a swather. We don't want to use something with conditioning rolls on it. We're on our way to the field with the swather. We got it in transport position right now where we pull it directly behind the tractor in a straight line. It's still pretty wide going down the road like this. It's an old machine. We got to take it kind of easy. This tractor has the capability of going more than twice this speed, but when this swather was invented, tractors didn't go this fast. Tractor, 714 Fendt, a little bit overkill for this machine, but Alex is out in the 125, which we would normally put on here. It's got skinnier tires on it and fits in between the windrows a bit better, but we're not swathing wheat today, like organic wheat or anything like that, where we don't want tires driving on the windrows or anything. This is we're going to be chopping it within 24 hours, picking it up. Not too worried about the quality of the grain being compromised by getting smushed into the ground, because it's all going to get picked up. We're not really worried about it drying unevenly in a couple spots or anything like that. It's all going to get mixed up and put in the silo. So when we get to the field, we'll unhook from the position that we're in right now for going down the road. I don't know if you can see it back there. There's a hitch that sticks off to the side along with the PTO and hydraulic controls. And the machine will be off to the side of the tractor, and that's how we'll cut the crop. This is pretty old school technology. No buttons to push on this one. It's all manual to get it unfolded into field position. So as you can see, I'm back in the yard with no swather behind me. We had an issue right off the get-go. One of the belts was kind of tough. I kind of knew that. I thought it would make it through okay, but presented a problem right away, so I thought I'd take care of it. Couldn't show you all that. I took the tractor back, had to get in the truck, run to the dealer, got a belt. Wasn't exactly the right size, but I got it on there. Now we'll head back to the field and hopefully still get this done. Ken's off in the 927. He's gonna knock down 50 acres of new seeding. It's not very great, but it's kind of done growing. It started flowering, so it's got to get clipped off. We'll bale it up. It'll be something. It'll help the next cut start to grow. You can see we're up and running pretty good now. That belt fixed it right up. The rail's spinning fine now. I opened the field up already. I think I took some time-lapse video of that. Maybe we'll show you some of that. So now we're splitting the field in two. Obviously the swather is off to one side the whole time, so you have to cut the field kind of in circles or split it. If this was organic wheat that we were doing, we would keep going around in circles and not drive on the headlands or end rows or whatever you want to call them at the end to keep the tires off of the windrow, because in organic grain you would be coming back in and combining it. This being forage that we're going to chop tomorrow, to try to cut the field a bit faster, I'm going to cut it like you would if you were cutting with a side pull hay blind. I did 4 laps around the outside. Now I'm going to split it. I'll chew off one side of the field, then I'll chew off the other side of the field. You have no choice when you open the field up or when you split it to drive over the crop for the first time. You can see there my tire tracks from the first time. So when you go back, you go in the opposite direction. It gets 90% of it. There is some crop matted into the ground, that the tire's matted into the ground. There's just no way around that. It's a good stand of barley in here. It's underseeded with hay, primarily alfalfa. Very common practice here in southern Ontario, and I think in more parts of the country and the States as well. This farmer chose the barley as the cover crop. Quite often we put cover crop on when we put hay in. A lot of times it's oats or oats and peas. He chose barley because he knew he was going to be short on corn silage, and this is going to make a good alternative feed source for him until we get to, let's say, mid-September and we start chopping the corn. So yeah, we'll just keep plugging away. The day got even busier. We got a call, the wrappers got to go out, so we got to get that ready. Alex is over at the shop getting the forage harvester ready, getting the forage wagons hooked up. Sent my parents off to the dealership to get parts for that broken forage wagon that I mentioned earlier. So as soon as Alex is done getting the harvester ready, he's going to come take over from me. Hopefully the parts are back by then, and I'll start putting the new parts on that forage wagon, because all this stuff has to be ready to go by tomorrow morning, because this stuff's got to go up a silo. So I thought I'd get out and show you why we are using the old-fashioned swather in this barley when all we're trying to do is make feed for cattle and we're not trying to make grain. So it's still green, and if you look, you can see the heads of the barley, and they're in what we call a dough stage right now.
They're squishy. I don't know if you can see that, but they're squishy and they're doughy. They're starting to make their grain, and we don't want to let it finish and go all the way to grain. We want that doughy stage. And if we were to use the mower conditioners, like the 927 with the big Claas triples on it, it has conditioning rolls on it, and it would squeeze all those heads of those plants, and it would squeeze all that dough out of them. So that's why we're using the old school technology. This machine has no roller crimpers on it or anything like that. This is a very unique circumstance that we're using this machine for a forage crop, and it's cool that we get to show it to you. The real reason this machine is in our operation is for organic wheat. If it's not drying down properly, if the weeds got bad in it, we'll use this machine, we'll cut it, we'll let it lay in the windrow dry so that we can then run it through the combine, process the grain, and it'll be dry and clean. So we got the field all finished up. I'm just gonna leave the swather out here. It's a bit of a job to pack it up. We don't need it right away. We'll come back for it later. We wanna get some work done on that forage wagon so we can have it ready for tomorrow, and get the blower hooked up to the silo, stuff like that. Alex has been working on prepping the harvester, so that should be ready to go. And we'll just boogie back. On the way back, I'll stop at the farm where we're chopping at and pick Alex up. He's dropping the blower off. Just went down the road here. Alex got the 720 and the blower over here. We run the 720 on the blower or bigger. We like to put lots of horsepower on the forage blower. We gotta shoot that barley all the way up there. Hey guys, so it's the next day. We're back here at the shop. Worked on this forage wagon last night. I didn't get footage of that, and a bit this morning. Those sprockets in there are seized on that shaft, so I got new sprockets and new bearings, anticipating to rebuild this and a new conveyor chain, but I cannot get those sprockets off that shaft, so this wagon is going to be down today. That's not going to be the best situation, but we're going to make the best of it. We're just going to run the RTX 624, which holds quite a bit. Good thing is we don't have a ton of this barley to do, so I've sent Alex and Adrian off already. I was thinking I was going to be able to fix this, but I can't. So I'm going to go over there now, take over from Alex. Alex can go in the wagon. So this is how we harvest with the self-propelled. Wagons just pull up beside me. We cruise along. I got a good group of guys. They operate really well. We have two-way radios in the tractors and harvesters to communicate, but with the good ones, we don't even need them. They can anticipate my next move, usually. Right there is a perfect example. We went through a ditch, I had to slow down. Didn't even have to say anything, he already knew I was going to do it. It makes such a difference when you got a good group of people working with you. So we're just finishing up this field here, just on our last couple windrows. This will be the last load over here. Alex will take it over and load up the silo. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear me, but as I showed you yesterday when we hooked the blower up, we put lots of horsepower on it. And I'll show you the unloading process here, and we don't mess around. It goes in fast. We have a very good blower. It's adjusted properly. We put lots of horsepower on it, and we get that feed up that silo as fast as possible.
So I just went home, had a bite to eat. It's 9 o'clock at night. About to head out to the field where Ken's baling straw. He's cranking out quite a few bales, and I'm gonna help him try to get those in the barn tonight because they're calling for some rain tomorrow. It's gonna be a late one.